Hey everybody, wanted to do another outdoors video today. Got my bag o' knives here with me. These are mostly all fixed blades that I have, and I got some good response on my last using some tools in the woods video, so figured I'd do another one with some new stuff or different stuff anyway. Let's start out with a big boy here. Get this out of the way. Okay, this is the Ontario Rat 5. Comes in this Super Duty sheath that you can use for either on your belt, or you can use this MOLLE webbing on the back to attach it to your tactical pack when you're out doing all kinds of tactical stuff. This is 1095 carbon steel with this heavy duty crinkle coat on it. I have another knife that had this, but I took it off, and I think I'm going to do it with this as well. Nice micarta handle, and it's made for some serious stuff, or if you want to set it up, you can chop on it too using a lanyard. Okay, let's take this and try it out. The grind is not the sliciest thing, but it's good for doing some work on carving wood. And let's do a little chopping. What the heck? And there you go. So that'll do some heavy duty work for you, and it's got a nice big oversized handle, and you can use the choil if you want to choke up and do some finer work. Okay, so that's that one. Let's take a moment to say it's such a beautiful spring day here in New England. We've got temperatures in the 50-degree range, and so I had to get out. All right, here's a cool 2-pack, like a main big knife and your little companion. Companion fits in this very nice sheath that's made specifically for it. So we take it out. There it is with some bird's eye maple handle, little divot for your finger to get in there nice. And again, these are carbon steel. These are from Finland, a company called Varusteleka. I highly recommend you check them out. They have great stuff, good shipping. Prices aren't too crazy. They're very reasonable, in fact. And this is another knife that will do your chores of carving. Is that in frame, I hope? Has that Scandi grind on it, so it'll bite right into the wood. Nice sharp point. Not bad on the thickness of the blade. I hope this is coming out. I'm kind of doing this upside down. I hope it stays in focus. Let's take a look at this big brother. So now you have a considerably longer blade, a little bit larger handle, larger diameter. I scraped the back of the steel here so I can get a nice ferro rod action out of it. This is just painted, and this is a Ranger band I put on for better grip. Let's see how this does. So this is better for taking on some bigger tasks when you need to. But it still has a relatively fine tip. Can't tell. And a nice Scandi grind again. Okay. let's, oh, here. So the Ontario rat I showed you earlier, this is an SE3. Very, very similar. There's a whole history of the rat, Randall's Adventure Training, and Ontario, and then they parted ways and started to do business with Essie. But you can see a lot of similarities, just a smaller package overall, but still fits in the hand great. Nice jimping. I didn't mention it, but the jimping is on the 5 as well. And this will show you how I took the coating off. Here's the original coating, but I took it off the blade part. There's a whole bunch of videos that shows you what to use and how to soak it in the solution, the liquid that takes off this type of that type of coating. So let's try this too. I actually ground this, had kind of a pretty thick behind the edge. I ground it back a little so it carved wood better. But a great knife. Essie has one of the best guarantees in the industry. You can do whatever you want to these, and if it breaks, send it back, no questions asked, and Essie will send you a new one. So very nice. This has G10 handles on it, not the micarta, but still very comfortable. Comes in a nice Kydex sheath. I think this is Kydex. It might be something else with a very stout clip on it to hang on your belt, and you can mount it different ways or get a whole different setup for it if you want. Okay, here's the Bark River I got recently that got a lot of views and a lot of comments. People saying, is it fake, is it not fake, all this and that. Take a look at it if you want, but this is the Bravo 1, and I've used it a little bit, but I haven't recorded really anything with it. Still getting used to this thumb ramp and debating on whether or not I want to grind it off, but it seems okay. The thickness, fantastic. And I just treated this sheath with Snow Seal, heat it up with a hair dryer and slap it on and let it dry, and I think it looks quite nice. Let's try this. Yeah, you can see it, okay. Boy, that cuts right in, wow. Look at that. You can make little curls if you want, if I was really trying. Or you can just hog off wood. And many people have skinned a lot of animals with these things. It's quite happy to be used in the way it is intended. Nice thick handle, very well contoured for the hand, just super knife. This is A2 steel, and I'm hoping it's A2 steel. We'll see. Time will tell. Okay, put that away. Let's go to, oh, here's a knife. This is nice. This is a Helle, or Helle, H-E-L-L-E, from Norway. These are really beautiful, mostly handmade knives with old technology. They have a whole history, over 100 years old, multi-generations. They still make them the old way. And this is called the ARV, A-R-V, ARV. And this has a laminated steel. There's the soft steel in the middle, and it's sandwiched between the harder stainless on the outside, but I think that's it. They've got some proprietary mixture that, oh, I hope this is not out of focus. Okay, so, and again, it's got a Scandi grind, so it's made to deal with the woods, be in the woods. Look at that. No problem. Very comfortable in the hand. This is not a big bruiser. It's not made to be batoned and, you know, go through a car door and all that stuff. You can see the stock isn't that thick on the blade, but it's just a joy to use and beautiful to look at. It's a rat tail tang. The tang goes all the way through, but it gets thin in the back there. You can see the little knob holding it on. I've got a few Hellas there. Very, very nice knives. And again, they make the sheaths right there. They do it all. They put the handles together. Check them out online. There's a bunch of very good little documentary type things for this company. Okay. Here's a tried and true, a Mora. Everybody knows Mora, I think. This is the Garberg. This is the stainless version. You can get it in carbon as well. But I really like it. This is one of my go-tos, and they're very reasonably priced. Handles quite comfortable. This is full tang. The tang comes through here. You can use that to crush things, or it's very sharp. You can strike a ferro rod with it and not use the blade for it, but you can do either. Again, a great grind for dealing with wood. And again, all these things will do your camp tasks with no problem. You can even chop with this a little bit because it's such a sturdy blade. This sharpens up beautiful. I think this is 14C, 27N, 28N, whatever the correct thing is, but easy enough to look up if you're wondering. Okay, that's the Garberg. Should I keep going? Yes, Tony, keep going. Okay. What else have I got here? Oh, here's another video that I did recently. Vintage Easter Bunny finds. Vintage on Cape Cod. This is the buck 110 I got. So this is just how I showed it to you. The one thing I forgot to do when I was showing this off with the other knives was to cut something with it. So I'll do that now. This is the 102. I'm sorry, did I say 110? The buck 102. Okay, let's see how this is. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look at these curls. I hope this is on camera. So nice. And if you want a hog, you can. Just change the angle a little bit. You can take it right off. What a super little knife. Oh, that is just great. They still make them, they still sell them, but this one's from the late 60s to early 70s. And again, the previous owner used it. You can see, you know, he's maybe opened a can of beans or two with this, all those scratches. Okay. All right, what else we got? So that's a nice, thinner handled, easily carried. Speaking of thinner handled, here you go. This is from Exodus Knife and Tool. Comes in the sheath. The only thing I did was add this ulti clip for pocket carry, which is kind of nice. And this is made by White River. No, what the heck is it? It is, yeah, White River. There's the White River logo right there, if you can see, with the little bear. I think you can see it. This is about a 3.5-inch blade. Thin handle, but it fits in the hand nicely. And it's S35VN steel. So you've got good quality steel there for a very reasonable price. And he also makes a larger version called the Jackalope that's like a 5-inch blade and a little longer handle. But this is a good all-around camp knife. Not super good at the carving until you get it right, but this is great if you go fishing or you're working on small game or something like that, or just, again, around the kitchen, at the camp, whatever. You need slicing duties, and it's very nice stock. It's a good thick stock there, so you're not going to break it. He gives a lifetime guarantee on all his products. Check him out. Peterson, Jacob Peterson, I think it, I'm sorry, I'm not remembering his name right now, but just look up Exodus Knife and Tool. Great guy, does a lot of good stuff. And for the money, this is a really good package. Okay. I showed you a silky saw in the last woods video, tool video. This is the smaller version of it. This is a Gomboy, Pocket Boy, actually, I'm sorry, Pocket Boy, 130 millimeters long. If you can read that, 130. I think it's 8 teeth per inch. And this is made for softwoods. So let's saw it. Let's see if I can get a better grip this time than last time. Boom. Nice and clean. If you don't own one of these, do yourself a favor and buy one. They're great. Find them on sale. They're out there. And this is a Pocket Boy because it's pocket size, and it has 2 settings. It has this for regular cutting, and then if you're close to the ground, you can tip it up a little bit. See the angle changed? So now you can hold it close to the ground with a better angle with your hand and still cut good. Okay. Okay. This one that I showed you before from that company, hold on, I'm gonna remember it in a second. But out in Finland, I also got this guy from it. This is the Puukko, the Terava Puukko in a beautiful leather sheath. You can buy the sheath, you can buy the knife with or without the sheath. I highly recommend spending the extra few dollars and getting this sheath because it is super duper top quality. This is the 120. So they also make a 140 that's a couple of inches longer, but the handle ergonomics, everything about this knife is super strong. Put your life on this knife. It's great. They call this the Garberg Killer because it is similar to the Garberg and performs a lot like it. So yeah, that just, you want curls, you can make curls. You want to hog it, you got it. You want a baton, again, this goes all the way through. This is part of the steel, and you can crush with that too if you need to. Okay, almost done here. Let's take out the folder. One of my newer Buck, this is the Buck 110. Roll that open, and there we go. 428C, a staple, a standard in the folding hunting knives. Again, if you don't have one, get one. This is too big, get the Buck 112, which is just the smaller version of this. Boom. Made to do the job. I mentioned the 112. The 112 was made because this knife was issued to the people, to the sailors on the Ranger, the USS Ranger, an aircraft carrier. 2 guys got into a fight. They took out their Buck 110s. Somebody got hurt. A big stink got made out of it, which I guess it should have. And the admiral or whatever said, no more long blades. So Buck said, okay, and they made the 112 Ranger that's smaller, and they named it the Ranger because of the USS Ranger that started the whole thing. Okay. And over there. Well, how about, let's see. I thought, okay. Here's my other vintage knife and pouch that was from the Easter find. Snap this open. Another folding hunter. It's a 2-blade. This is from Western Knives out of New York, if I'm not mistaken. And here's the blade that I showed you before. Again, lots of hard use over the years, but the guy took very good care of it. And I'm going to show you how sharp it is. I'm hardly using any pressure, and it's just going right through. Feathers, no problem. Hogging, no problem. That's the blade that's in good shape, that's longer. And here's the blade where the tip broke off, but still quite usable. Again, very sharp. Look at this thing. Okay, I mentioned the centering last time, but the one thing I didn't show was how there's dual liners in there. I did take a toothpick and go through the insides here just to ream it out a little bit. There was a little bit of pocket lint and whatnot over the course of the last bunch of years. They didn't use it, but nice and clean. And again, the centering is really pretty good. And there's the sheath that I talked about as well. Okay. So boy, that's a bunch. Now, oh, here's my other bark river. This is the, shoot, what was it? The ultralight field knife, I think this was. And hopefully CPM 3V. Let's hope it's real, kids. So far, I've been using it a little bit, and I haven't noticed any rolling, no chipping. Again, you want nice little, haven't done anything, haven't stropped this, but you want little curls. You get little curls. And you want to cut through. That'll do it. Nice point, nice belly. I like this little harpoon. Very nice. The handle, I keep mentioning this handle is a little shorter than normal, but seems to be doing okay. Fits okay for my hand. And the different sheath really works out well for this. That's really kind of it, I think. Oh, I just wanted to show you. I showed you my saddle axe last time. This is a very old axe, hatchet rather. And if you can see, this was the Boy Scout of America logo. This is the Boy Scout of America logo. I'll hopefully focus it good. Maybe you can see it in there. I hope. But this was made by Plum Company. You might just be able to see it. But this is old, original handle. I put this little bit of a wrap on it to try to protect the handle, but I've sharpened it, convex. I use a Lansky puck. If you've ever seen it's rough on one side, fine on the other, you hold it at an angle. A Lansky sharpening puck works great. That's a good one for you. And hopefully everything won't go flying here. We'll chop a little bit. Well, that was more of a break than a chop, but you can see it's doing a good job. It's had a serious life, and it's really a nice find. Very desirable, very wanted, and they're not plentiful. They're hard to find. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. Peace, love, whatever the thing is there. You know, happiness to everybody. Be good. Let's take a look around. Show you how nice it is out here. Beautiful, beautiful day. Today's the 9th of April, 2026. Just in the woods. Loving it. Saw different things starting to sprout. The lilies, little plants here and there. Buds are starting to come out in the trees. Okay, take it easy, everybody.